Let's meet Sarah and Mike, both 33, making 95 grand a year in Dallas. Last Tuesday, Sarah posted the ultimate status symbol, a photo holding a shiny new set of house keys in front of a $450,000 colonial. Mike saw the post while signing his third apartment lease renewal, feeling a massive wave of shame. But pull the curtain back on their bank accounts 12 months later, and the picture flips. Sarah hasn't slept a full night in weeks, constantly checking her dwindling bank account to cover property taxes and a broken HVAC. Mike just bought more S&P 500 index funds, booked a trip to Japan, and feels zero financial anxiety. How did the guy who quote-unquote threw his money away on rent end up infinitely richer than the proud homeowner? For decades, we've been gaslit by parents and financial gurus repeating the exact same tired phrase: renting is throwing money away. You feel like a failure if you don't own a piece of dirt by age 30. But that advice belongs in a museum, not in the reality of 2026. Look at the hard numbers. Sarah got a standard 6.5% mortgage. On that house, she's paying nearly $3,000 a month just in interest, property taxes, and insurance. That is money completely vanishing into thin air. It doesn't build equity, it doesn't build wealth, it just keeps the bank happy. Meanwhile, U.S. rents have actually been dropping for 33 consecutive months. Mike is paying $2,000 a month for a luxury apartment, where if the fridge breaks, he makes a free phone call. Sarah pays an $800 emergency plumber bill. The psychological difference here is massive. Sarah bought into the illusion of the American dream because she wanted to feel established. She bought to impress her neighbors. But because of mild stagflation, where prices are high but wages are flat, her housing costs are locked at absolute peak levels, suffocating her disposable income. Mike fought off the renters guilt. He accepted that in this specific economy, stepping off the homeownership treadmill isn't a sign of defeat, it's a massive financial defense mechanism.
I call this the renter's wealth advantage. The trap most Americans fall into is comparing a monthly mortgage payment directly to a monthly rent payment. But a mortgage is the absolute minimum you will ever pay. Rent is the absolute maximum. When you buy a house right now, you aren't just locking in a high interest rate. You're adopting what I call the phantom cost portfolio. Property taxes go up, home insurance premiums are skyrocketing nationwide. Roofs need replacing. Maintenance averages 1 to 2% of the home's value every single year. On a $400,000 house, that's $4 to $8 grand a year just to keep the drywall from rotting. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. You're saying, but real estate always goes up. It's forced savings. Sure, historically, real estate appreciates over long time horizons, but when you factor in the thousands you burn on interest, maintenance, and closing costs, the math on buying a home in 2026 as a pure investment is completely broken. The renter's wealth advantage happens when you take the difference, the phantom costs you aren't paying, and aggressively invest it into assets that actually pay you. You aren't priced out of the housing market, you are being saved from a massive illiquid debt trap. So how do you actually apply this today? First, you need to evict the renter shame from your brain entirely. Renting buys you the ultimate luxury right now, flexibility and cash liquidity. But here is the catch. Renting only makes you rich if you capture the spread. Today, calculate exactly what it would cost to own the median home in your area. Mortgage, taxes, insurance, and a monthly maintenance fund. Let's say that number is $3,200. If your rent is $2,000, you have a $1,200 gap.
Your actionable fix is to automate that exact gap directly into the stock market the very day you pay rent. Don't leave it in checking. Treat that $1,200 like a mandatory mortgage payment that you are paying to your future self. That is how you turn a lease agreement into a wealth-building machine. You completely decouple your ego from your living situation. But here is the terrifying reality. You can totally embrace the renter's wealth advantage, free up thousands of dollars a month, and still wake up completely broke 5 years from now. Because when you suddenly have all this extra cash flow that isn't tied up in a mortgage, your brain plays a vicious trick on you. You start treating yourself. You upgrade your car. You buy the designer clothes. You start bleeding money on tiny luxuries to regain a false sense of control in a weird economy.
If you don't understand the psychological mechanism that forces you to blow your extra cash, renting will ruin your finances just as fast as a bad mortgage. I break down exactly why your brain forces you to sabotage your savings and how to stop it right now in this video right here called the doom spending trap, why you can't stop wasting money. Click it on your screen right now and I'll see you over there.